You asked me if these reforms would in
Really?
effect destroy the organization. That's what they were saying in the paper today. You know, Minton is bullshitting here. He's not interested in reform, he's interested in destroying it. Well, if the changes we're asking them to make are accomplished and it still leaves the organization with some sort of cohesiveness, so be it. That's fine. But if they don't make these changes, we're going to keep the pressure on from the outside for those reforms,
Right.
whether through more people, all of us getting together in a greater numbers,
Yeah.
through the legal system, through working with politicians to try to get them to help.
And
There are a lot of ways, but we can't be out to destroy it, because then we look like the religious bigots that they all claim we are, that we're
Right.
trying to destroy a peaceful
Right.
religion. They send letters to more than 4,000 people all the time about me when I particularly tick them off.
quite a mail list. there.
Yeah, I mean,
have
it's
an unlimited
they've sent it to
Yeah.
they've sent letters to my children's schools. The day after they gave me a big warning in September or October of '97, the very next morning they followed my 10 and 12-year-old daughters down the street to a neighbor's house where they were going for carpool. They didn't do it. They weren't going to hurt these kids. They were just doing it to scare my wife and me. This is the kind of mafia-like group that we're, harassment and intimidation. These guys have everything the mafia does and more.
But it's very important to know that these people that you're seeing going in and out of these buildings have no idea that this is
That
going
any of
on.
that happens.
I know that.
When you tell them that these things are going on, I've given talks, and they'll stand in the back of the room and they'll yell out, "Liar, liar, she's lying, and they really do believe that I'm lying. They don't know that it's going on.
I'm sure they don't.
Yeah. That's why I say the vast majority of the Scientologists that we're trying to communicate with are good and decent people.
We've always wanted to be a part of something that was meaningful, that was doing something locally that was important. And I
Mhm.
don't know that there's anything more important right now than wrecking this thing that's wrecked our community.
Hmm.
I mean, got to disassemble this thing.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's unbelievably powerful.
Yeah. Well, we're not so much concerned about disassembling it, but what we are concerned about is extracting from within it the deceptions and the lies and the
Sure.
abuse. Because if this organization could exist without all that stuff, without hurting these people, without
also without
locking
hurting
up
the
people like
community,
that, and without hurting the community
very
and,
bad.
and intimidating and harassing the community,
Yeah.
then fine. And
Yeah.
there are good Scientologists. I mean, if most of the people here are good, and only the leaders are the ones who are totally corrupt and ruining it,
Right.
why not? The ideal is that the people within the Church of Scientology dump the leaders,
Well, yeah.
reform it themselves.
Because,
Right.
But they are all so afraid. They are just as afraid of their leaders as they've been told to be afraid of the outside world. They've said in the newspaper already that we're going to be kidnapping people off the streets here in Clearwater, raping women. That's how we're going to get them out of Scientology. This is what they say. This is the terror that they instill in these Scientologists.
You guys are not going to be raping women?
You don't want any part of this.
I'm done.
You saw the paper, and that's why you came down here.